So the reason that we felt comfortable moving forward with getting the Timbuktu was that we already had an OVS awning that we got for our kitchen area, and
Yes.
we really like it.
Yeah, we really do. It's made really well. It is 2 meters wide, I believe, and it is about 8 feet long, so it's much longer than a lot of the other awnings of this type. And it covers the area really well. It's we've had it set up in rain, and rain does not come in here. It's got these little tabs here that allow you to push the back of the cover back a little ways, and it keeps it on the other side of this little ridge right here, and rain does not get in. So it actually does a really good job, and it does a great job of keeping the sun off during the day. So we're very happy with the quality of it, and so that did help in our decision, because and this awning here was $199 when we bought it, and we bought it, you know, straight from OVS, and then we also bought the Timbuktu straight from OVS.
Right.
And they seem to ship things out pretty quick. I mean, when they delivered it to us, we don't have a video of the unboxing and installing it. I had intended to do that, but unfortunately we ran out of time because we were getting ready to go to Ocracoke, and the tent came on Wednesday, and we left for Ocracoke on Thursday. So
Wednesday afternoon.
Yes. Yeah. So we were in a bit of a time crunch to try and get it on there. So I just put it on, but basically it installed really easily. You've got these brackets up here that fit around the ROG rack cross members. I had to install these things here on. It's just, I think it was 4 bolts or something like that. It was really not too difficult to do. You know, as far as putting it together goes, it probably didn't take any more than maybe a couple hours, I would say. We have taken it to Ocracoke camping, and we thought we would do just kind of a review of just the tent itself. So Pam is going to give us a quick tour.
Oh, come with me.
Yes, of the tent. So this is the Overland Vehicle Systems TMBK2, or
Timbuktu.
Yeah, sometimes referred to as Timbuktu.
This is a shoe bag. We're not so sure we would really use it. I mean, can't you just leave your shoes at the bottom?
Yeah, well, that's what we've been doing.
If you wanted to, you could put your shoes there. These springy things are kind of cool. They have little holes in the frame here and there, and you stick them in. And if we wanted to take the rain fly off, I could unroll this, and this would hold the tent door up.
Yeah, and we've used it that way. We've used it both ways, but right now the rain fly is currently on there. So I'm going to come up the ladder myself here.
All right, you do that.
And we're going to get a little inside tour.
Yeah. So all the windows and doors have these little button loops that you can close them with. They work great. There's also, on the outside corners, the little, I think they're called barrel buttons.
He's right here.
Right. There's some of those on the outside corners which allow you to button down your rain tarp.
Which we discovered is of some benefit.
If it's really raining, if it's really windy. Now I've also heard that that's for when you pack it up to drive down the road.
Yes. And
so you decide, but I can say from experience that when the wind is gusting over 30 miles an hour, they do reduce a little bit of the noise. So up here,
it does get noisy.
Yeah, just
and
noisy.
A whole lot of rustling going on.
Yeah. So let me point out some of the interesting and wonderful details on the inside.
All right.
Okay. On both sides, you've got pockets mounted on the wall. You've got a window for privacy and to block ventilation, and a screen and the awning that's over it. Those can also be taken off their springs and pulled in tight against the tent using some barrel buttons. We thought this is quite lovely up high on both sides of the tent. This is ventilation so that if it was raining and if you did have things buttoned up pretty tight, you could still have a tiny bit of airflow so that you wouldn't get terrible condensation in here. The tent came with 2 of these springy little clips, and when you're packing it up for travel, what you're supposed to do is put one on this side and one on this side, and they'll pull the walls in, so as you're folding the tent up, it stays tucked in a little better. Seems like it does work pretty well. I'm gonna back up a little bit. We have a headlamp that we hang up from the bar up here on the ceiling, and then this is your stargazing window. If you have the rain fly flopped back or completely removed, you can lie in bed and look out. If you would rather not and you need to stay more private, or you don't want the ventilation, then you can of course close that off. We like it.
We do like it.
We're very comfortable in here. We slept in here 4 or 5 nights when we were at the beach. The only nights we did not sleep in here were nights where the wind was gusting over 30 miles an hour. Now, I knew before we went to Ocracoke that it was going to be windy, and I reached out to the people at OVS and asked if the tent could handle it, and they said absolutely.
And it did handle it.
It did handle it.
It was just...
I didn't handle it.
Right. It was just the noise factor that drove Pam crazy. She didn't like all of the fluttering that you get when it's that windy. But as far as just like function, it did do fine.
It did. It did do fine. And
didn't
Mark
tear it
fell
up.
asleep.
Yeah.
And I'll put it this way. His snoring usually keeps me awake. I couldn't hear his snoring for the flapping of the tent. So it was very flappy. But yeah, it's really, really comfortable. It's easy when you're already up in here for the night. It's really easy to, adjust these side windows and reduce the amount of breeze that you have blowing through. We are expecting temperatures tonight to get into the low 50s. And at least one night during our stay, they're going to drop into the high 30s. So
it'll be a good experiment to see how well it does in cooler weather. It does come with a mattress.
Yeah, I can
maybe to pull up that side up there.
Yeah.
It does come with a mattress. It's like maybe 2.5 inches.
It's not.
It's not a huge mattress.
It's about that thick.
It's relatively comfortable. It's not like the lap of luxury, but it's relatively comfortable. It's way more comfortable than any tent I've ever slept in. I'll be just be brutally honest.
You're off the ground.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'll hand the camera to Pam, and she can kind of give you sort of the perspective of what it's like to be up here.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice being up. I didn't really realize how
pleasant it is.
Yeah, it's actually really pleasant. It's kind of like being in a little treehouse, sort of.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like a treehouse, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So
and
we've had let me go over to I would say an overall generally positive experience, just being up in the air like we are.
And look at that. The sun is getting low.
So
there goes the sun. Here comes the night. Somebody turn on a light.
some of you may know that little tune, but some of you may not know what in the world she's singing. There's a little video that we used to watch with the kids, and we always liked it too. It was called The Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah.
Which sounds ridiculous.
If you've never watched it, it's worth a look.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting little kids movie. It's a cartoon. Our overall thought is the Timbuktu is a great rooftop tent, and it works great on the ROG.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there you go.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Really glad we got it. I love the ROG. I love sleeping inside the ROG. Sleeping in a rooftop tent is a new experience still, and in the right conditions, it's really, really nice. Yeah. I don't want to take away from the ROG because I think it's great.
ROG? Rig?
I want to call it ROG. I'm told I'm supposed to call it ROG. So, probably because I want to be a rogue, you know? Just a little ornery. A little rogue to me.
Oh, see, and I want to be a ROG star.
There you go.
I want to be a ROG star. She's going rogue.
Yep.